Ohayou gozaimasu. Good morning. And irashaimase, welcome. Before we start, we'd actually like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Yagara and Turrbal peoples, and acknowledge their ancestors, elders, and community here today. And we'd also like to acknowledge that we're very close to a very important sacred site here at the Naji Waterholes, the Naji Bora Ring and grounds. Now, we are very honoured to have with us Inge-san, all the way from Koyasan, Jimyo-in Temple, and he is going to share with us a beautiful Buddhist sutra for love, light, protection, and peace for all. Thank you, Inge-san.
Ohayou gozaimasu. コミュ信号のやつだっけ？なんか喋った方がいいです。そうですね。いいですか。今から、皆さんのために、光明真言という、真言をお唱えさせていただいて始めたいと思います。
So he will do like a sutra for you today. So he will start now. Thank you.
Om abo kyabero chano makabo daramani handoma jimbara harabari tayaun. Om abo kyabero chano makabo daramani handoma jimbara harabari tayaun. Om abo kyabero chano makabo daramani handoma jimbara harabari tayaun. 元日功徳不牛王一切が東洋主上海具成仏道 Thanks so much.
Thank you. Welcome everyone, and it's lovely to see such a full house here today. I've got the duty of a bit of housekeeping. Shortly Sal will join you. He'll take you behind the scenes of his journey for this beautiful, inspiring book. Should, in the rare case of emergency, we need to evacuate, please just head down the stairs and the team will take you through. Following the event, we invite you to join us downstairs for some light refreshments, and you'll have the chance to meet our special guests and Sal and sign any books. Those of you who have purchased tickets today, your copies of your books are waiting for you, so please see the team downstairs. They'll hand them to you. Majority of them Sal has already got writer's cramp and have signed. Those who couldn't get the name to us, just see Sal after the event and he was happy to sign it for you. So, Sal, he's gone into, anyway, please, it's your show.
Well, I don't need that, do I?
Oh, yes, you might.
Thank you so much, Inge-san. It was such an honour and a privilege. I felt really emotional. I was half joking when I said, we would really love you to come to Australia. And he just looked at me and you could see this sparkle in his eye. Of course we'll come, son. But all the beautiful calligraphy that you'll see in the book, it was organised by Inge-san and two other amazing priests in Japan. So it was an extreme honour that the calligraphy was done by such esteemed people who are very precious. Precious to look. Fascinating journey and the book has been like an 8-year journey, and that was. It's not. When the came, I think, 2018. And then, of course, we had the pandemic, and everybody, I remember sitting in the boardroom with Paul Venus, our lawyer, and he said, "Don't worry, Sal, this will all be, Queensland Health says this will be all over in 6 months." Is that exactly what you said to me, Paul? Yes, he did. Little did we know that we would be experiencing lockdowns for almost 2 years. And it was going to be so difficult to travel to Japan. But and I almost gave up on the idea of the Kotodama of Scent. Now, I'm going to put my glasses on, and as usual, I get too excited. And I do have something beautiful to say, so I do kind of want to follow a bit of a script, or else you're not going to be leaving this room until 2 o'clock this afternoon if I have my way, and I don't want to have my way, so I'm going to stick to the very strict program. I would like to also welcome, this has been live streamed, so I would like to welcome everybody from all around the world that is watching today. Garrett, how many people would we had registered? So
over 200 people have registered.
Lovely, thank you. Look, I do have something that I do want to follow through. So first of all, it is an extreme pleasure to welcome Chief Priest from Jimyo-in Temple in Koyasan. We will refer to him as Inge-san. It's the honorific title, and his for the Chief Priest and his wife Hitomi-san, who will be doing the tea ceremony later, and the two beautiful children have also come along. It is their first visit to Japan. Now they'll to Australia, sorry, to Australia. It is their first visit to us. That's when you get nervous, and you don't usually get nervous. It's their first visit to Australia, so it's very much an honour that they are here today to celebrate the launch of the Kotodama. We will be speaking with Inge-san later this morning and asking him a few questions about Koyasan and about the calligraphy, and with that will be with the help of Kyo. It is also an honour to welcome today the Consul General of Japan, Mr. and Mr. Ishikawa. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. And also sitting next to them, the Cultural Affairs Consul, Kawabata-san. Thank you so much for coming today. It's such a pleasure. And to our left here, we have Leonie Kawamoto. Thank you so much from Trade Investment Queensland, which we've actually done a very lovely little project with. It can also be a bit of a show and tell. We've created, through her hard work, and through speaking with us, we've been able to create this beautiful blend that you can only buy if you go to the Osaka Expo, to the Australian Pavilion. And that was with Perfect Potion has created this beautiful, what did we call it, Janet? Queensland Botanical Breeze. It's such a beautiful blend, yeah. But you cannot buy it in our shops, you cannot buy it online, we cannot buy it in the Perfect Potion shops in Japan. You can only get it if you visit the World Expo and visit the Australian Pavilion.
There's some in the bathroom, Sal.
Oh, I can see that bottle going missing. So, but you guys wouldn't do that because you've just been blessed. And it will, yeah. Look, and also, sorry, to keep going with the show, a very special thanks to Kyo Yamamoto, our Perfect Potion business partner in Japan, who has come here as well with her daughter, and she will be translating for both Inge-san and for Hitomi-san today. Of course, thank you to all my friends, family, colleagues, and esteemed green goddesses and green and gods. And of course, all Perfect Potion team. Welcome. Thank you so much. I'm sincerely grateful that you can be here today for the launch of the Kotodama of Scent and the Kokoro limited edition essential oil collection. And of course to all my friends and colleagues around the world, thank you so much for watching this. And of course, some will be watching later because it's some ungodly hour in Europe or in the United States. Now, yes, the Kokoro collection was also a beautiful inspiration of, the Kokoro collection is coming up. The Kokoro collection was a beautiful inspiration. It was very hard to choose just 5 words for which I was going to create some beautiful essential oil blends. But in the end, I was able to choose just 5 beautiful essential oil blends. Also, I do need the PowerPoint presentation. Lovely. It is with great sadness I just found this news out yesterday morning, but the world lost an incredible person, one of the most beautiful souls I had encountered, and a dear colleague of mine, Jonathan Benavides. Carolyn and I had just come back from an amazing retreat in Portugal on Azores Islands that Jonathan had organised. I met Jonathan several years ago at one of the conferences overseas where we were both speakers, and we just immediately bonded, and we've become friends since then. And when we met last year in Brazil, he was so excited to see me again and asked us if we would participate in this event, this retreat that he has on the Azores Islands. He brought so much compassion to the practice and profession of aromatherapy, and a very grounded professional approach to the art of aromatherapy. Sometimes life is unfair, because it really is unfair. I feel that he had so much to contribute to the industry. He had just come back from Japan, and he loved Koyasan. He would visit Koyasan. Right now, I'm finding it hard to grapple with, to find the right words to express how I'm feeling. And I'm sure how many people that knew Jonathan are feeling right now. But there is one word in the book that I have chosen, setsunai. Setsunai just describes a very sad feeling, a heartache for somebody that we have lost. Jonathan will miss you dearly, and my time with you will always be my natsukashi. And natsukashi, in many ways, is a more happy word. It's like a fond, happy memory, a cherished memory. So thank you, Jonathan. Now, if ever, and I'll be upfront about this, if ever there's a time that I felt imposter syndrome, it was in writing this book. Seriously. Here I am, as a Gaikujin, a foreigner, with such an inadequate grasp of Japanese language. And I've been visiting Japan for over 18 years, but I get spoilt with my Kiyo-san, who is always there for me. What right did I have to write this book, create this book, Kotodama of Scent? However, such a project is never a solitary endeavour. And indeed, I would just like to express my gratitude and thanks to a few people that have helped me. First of all, I'd like to start off by thanking all my colleagues and friends in Japan. For the last 5-6 years, I was a pain in the backside to them, asking them all these questions. What do you think about this word? What do you understand by this meaning of this word? So they all patiently answered my questions and explained the interpretation of the word. And so I was able to develop, I think, a really heartfelt understanding of the word, not just going to the library or Googling online and checking what the meaning of the word is. I would be speaking to our team in Japan, to our customers, all our team here in Australia that understood some Japanese. Thank you all so much for your patience, and thank you all so much for your input. But more importantly, thank you so much for believing in me and encouraging me to write this book. a big thanks goes to Kyo, because I'm thinking in one way Kyo's relieved that this book is now published, because she was the one that got bombarded the most with all the questions about the words in this book. But she was always fascinated with my interpretation and understanding of the words, and she believed in me, and she believed in this project. She is now, we will be launching, because for some of those that will be saying, we will be launching the Japanese edition, and that will be in October this year, that we will be launching the Japanese edition. Also, I have to thank all the team, our Japanese team in Japan. I've once got a big round table, and I think we had several sessions, didn't we, Kyo, for several hours, where I wanted to make sure that we paired each of these beautiful words with the best and the most appropriate essential oil. So we did a lot of brainstorming sessions with the team. So very much, this project, while the concept was my concept, and while I really appreciate what Reverend Daiko Matsuyama-san says, he's the head priest of the Sousin Temple in Kyoto, another dear friend of mine, what he said, what I really appreciated and felt honoured when he wrote, I hope that through the Kotodama of Scent, people around the world can gain a deeper appreciation for the complex and rich worldview that Japan has cultivated. So coming from him, I really appreciate those words, and he wrote the foreword to the English version. It was like, when I met him, it was like my Ichigo Ichie encounter. We just clicked suddenly. And I would always, at that stage, this was in the very early days of establishing Perfect Potion back in 2008. And I would always love my visit to Sousin Temple. And he was such a busy person because he was Japan's goodwill ambassador at the time. But he would always ask, Kyo-san, when is Sousin coming? And then once I felt he was too busy and I didn't make an appointment to see him, and he got upset. So we really enjoyed our time together. So he helped me get a beautiful perspective and understanding, a better appreciation of Buddhism, and he also guided me through some of my own personal life challenges. So thank you very much, Matsuyama-san. A few other people that are very important that I need to thank. It is Kana-san and Nishida-san. They are from the Koyasan Temple Association. And I appreciate that Kyo was able to make the introductions to these. Nishida-san is explaining it's a very rare and sacred tree that grows in the Koyasan. It's called koyamaki, and we actually were able to get hold of koyamaki oil to make a very special product. Here he is in charge of the forest and looking after the trees. The sort of guy he is, he's a tough guy. I don't know how many meters up in the tree he was, he fell from the tree. He was 12 meters up or something. He was unconscious on the ground for several hours, and then woke up and said, "Oh, I better get back to work. I better go to the hospital." Yeah. But he is amazing. Yeah. But through them, they were able to make the introduction to the the Buddhist priest in Koyasan, who have been able to grace the beautiful book with their calligraphy. So thank you so much. As I said, the idea for this book came around in 2018, just before we entered a global lockdown. And I think I had just encountered this interesting word called Kotodama, and I'll talk about this very soon, and the meaning of it, because some of you probably are not too aware of what the meaning is. However, I really struggled to get the momentum, the flow, to write the book. And the final book
is actually totally different from the original concept that I had. And some things just take time to evolve, I think. And I'm very, very happy. And I think the more that I was able to speak with people, that is a result of the final result of the book. I was almost ready to ditch the idea of the book because we were struggling to find somebody who could do the calligraphy for us. Initially, Kyo's nephew was going to do it, who had just won some major high school competition for the best calligraphy in Japan. But then he'd gone to uni, COVID came, and he just lost his Kokoro, lost his passion to do it. And so that was when we came up with the idea to ask the priest in Koyasan. And I think it was my first trip, and I know the Consul General is here, but I have an interesting story to tell. My first trip back to Japan, I was so excited. We'd been in lockdown. I hadn't been able to visit Japan for 2 years. Jump on the plane. The first thing, when I'm checking in, they ask, and I was flying because none of the Australian airlines were then still flying directly to Japan, so I had to go via Singapore Airlines. And at the check-in counter, they ask, "Where's your visa?" And my passport, I'd been to Japan at least 60 times or more, so my passport had all these Japan stamps. I said, "What do you mean visa? Look, I get the visa in Japan." And she said, "Oh, the computer says you must show me your visa." And she said, "I'm sure that'll be okay." And because I sounded a bit confident and cocky, she said, "Okay, here you go, here's the ticket." I arrived in Japan, and we had to have the COVID test. My first COVID test failed. I had to wait. No, I was the last one in the room because I had to do the COVID test the second time. And here I am, all on my own. And I'm about to go for immigrations. And there's a young guy there. And it's like 11 o'clock at night, and he's keen to go home. And he goes, "Where's visa?" And I go, "You give me visa." He said, "No, where's visa?" No, you give me visa." And then I see him get the phone, and this elderly gentleman comes out. And he goes, "Where's visa?" "You give me visa." I pretended that I didn't know very much Japanese at this point. It's sometimes best to be like this. And then I realized something's wrong here because he said, "You have to come into the room." They had just changed 4 days before that you needed to get the visa here in Australia before you go to Japan. Never happened before. You would just, as Australians, the travel is always easy. You don't have to do that now, by the way. And the elderly gentleman goes, "Oh," I could see, "You're a problem. I was probably the first one in the world. You should have visa. Why not?" And then they call Singapore Airlines representative because I became the responsibility of the airline. So to cut a long story short, remember that Tom Hanks movie, Airport, Terminal. I slept in the terminal. And I had to, because then I wasn't officially deported. I slept in the terminal, and the next night I flew back. But you know what? Singapore Airlines graciously, and everybody said they've never done this before. My agent said they actually reimbursed my ticket so I could go to Japan 3 months later when I had the visa. But Carolyn was on the phone calling the office here in Australia, and they even apologised because the website still hadn't said anything about needing a visa here in Australia, or it was on the second. It wasn't, on the second page. It wasn't very clear. But the one thing I experienced, even in this process, was this beautiful word, omotenashi, this beautiful kindness. Everybody was so nice to me. And you can't get upset or angry when everybody's been so gentle and kind to you, even though I was the one that had done the wrong thing. Anyway, I got distracted with that story, but I thought it's always a beautiful story to tell you about the type of experience you will have in the country, even when you're about to get deported. They'll treat you so, so nice. Now, Koyasan is indeed a very, very special area. It is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Protected Site, and it is part of the sacred sites and pilgrimage route. There are, and I think that is the entrance, one of the entrances to the Koyasan. It's not surprising, and I had to take this, as a tourist you do also, like to think that I'm like a traveller, but in a way I'm still a tourist. I had to take a photo of this poster that was in one of the cafes in Koyasan. And I think it says it all, not just for this particular region, but for Koyasan, but for all of Japan. It very much is your spiritual destination of your journey in Japan. That is the best way to describe Koyasan. And it was that first visit, and I don't know why Kia decided to take me to Koyasan, but it was that first visit to Koyasan that gave me my ikigai, my courage to actually complete the Kotodama of Scent. Now, when you go to Koyasan, don't do the day trip thing, jump on a bus and then head back the same night. You must do the temple stay. It is very special. And Inge-san will talk about, what you will experience when you do the temple stay. But this is one of the beautiful temples that we've stayed in. And I remember joking to Kyo, this is magical place. This is truly a magical place. I think I need to spend 1 month here so that I can finish the Kotodama of Scent. And Kia laughed at me, said, have you seen what the prices are to stay here for 1 night? So we decided, nice idea, but not practical. But for 1 night or 2 nights, it is definitely worth staying in one of the beautiful, they don't have hotels in Koyasan, you have to do the temple stay. And nowadays it is actually quite, depending on the time of the year, you will find lots of tourists. But the first time I went, it was still just coming out of the lockdowns. We almost had the whole temple to ourselves. Now, the beautiful oils that we create, the Kokoro collection in particular, and all the other beautiful products that we have made, use Japanese essential oils. And I like to know who I'm dealing with. And Higashi-san is incredible. He's got a very small distillery. His distillery can only probably make 5 to 10 kilos of oil, a day. But it is just so magical. And what makes his oils even more magical, he sources them, and of course they're all sustainable sourced, but he sources them from Koyasan. So they come from a very sacred space in the first place. So all the beautiful oils that we use have come from the plants in Koyasan region. And here he was distilling. That very plant there is the koyamaki. When we did this beautiful mist, and this was very limited edition mist, and I know it do have Claire. Claire couldn't get enough of this, one of my friends, and I had a special stash because this is a very special product, and we can't get this oil anymore, but she bought my last 6 Koyasan Sacred Mountain Mist because I know she appreciates it so much. So we have used the beautiful Japanese oils that Higashi-san makes in that mist. This is a kit that was we just created this late last year, and it was so popular that we've actually made just 1 more batch of it. And I decided the forest, what makes Japan so special are the forests. They are very sacred. And the word that is in the book as well, Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing. But people around the world, when they spend that time in nature, They feel very relaxed. It's actually very good for our emotional, physical well-being. So it is magic. And the Nihon no Mori, which is simply the Japanese forest, just contains the Japanese essential oils that Higashi-san makes. Absolutely divine. So we still make this one. It is, even though it is limited edition. What I wanted to do when I created the Kokoro collection is have something that connects each one of these blends. So in each of the blends, I've used as the beautiful subtle base note the gorgeous hinoki wood from the Koyasan region. So it is the hinoki oil that connects all these, has that spiritual connection between all the 5 blends, which are ikigai, kintsugi, kokoro, natsukashi, and wabi-sabi. I'm not going to, I always get so excited when I'm up on stage because I feel I'm not too good as a presenter. I'm better as a aromatherapy teacher, as a lecturer. But this is not going to become a lecture about aromatherapy. It's more about sharing with you this beautiful, exciting journey that I have about the creation of the Kotodama of Scent and the beautiful Kokoro collection. Now, I have a few more people to thank. And of course, very, very special person, dear to my heart, I want to acknowledge Carolyn, my beautiful wife, because without her, she's always giving me the courage to excel what I do. She loves my ideas and encourages me. She gives me her honest feedback, which is very, very important as well, and supports me in every way in what we create and what we do. So thank you so much, Carolyn. I do have 2 other very special guests that I would like to thank, and I don't know, we can't shine, we're not set up that fancy where we have a light that can flash down, but it's my mum and my godmother that are here. Thank you so much, Mum and godmother Josie, thank you. They have been friends, to think about this, they've been friends for at least 80 years. So that's giving away their age almost. And Mum won't mind me saying this, but while Mum's dementia is slowly getting worse, without fail, she always asks me, how is business and how are things in Japan? Always asks me. I remember telling Mum and Dad, and I remember the look on their face, how devastated they were, when I told them over 40 years ago now, giving my age away now, that I was going to quit my job as an electrical engineer and follow my ikigai and kokoro to establish my first aromatherapy business called Sal's Herb Garden, which then became the Garden Party, which then became Perfect Potion. I remember the look of disbelief on their faces, but Mum quietly whispered to me, Nonna, this grandma, always said, you should always do something that makes you happy. And if you're happy, you will always be successful. Thank you, Mum, for those words. They've always given me the keifuku roku, the resilience that I needed whenever the going got tough. Thank you. Now, the book has beautiful, beautiful photographs through it, and so I would like to thank all the talented photographers that contributed to the creation of the Kotodama of Scent. Thank you so much. And one, she's not here today, but one final huge shout out, and that is to the amazing, one of the world's most amazing graphic designers, and she works here with us at Perfect Potion, Romy. She perfectly captured that Japanese aesthetic that I so deeply desired to emulate in the Kotodama of Scent. Now, sorry, there are 2 more people that I really want to thank, and that is Janet Shackleton and Garrett Hollis. They're sitting here because they organised today's event. Thank you so much, Janet. Thanks, Garrett. And to all the Perfect Potion team, thank you so much. Now, I think I can see, and I'm sure you'll be able to see, can I please have a show of hands, those of you that have been to Japan? Who has been to Japan? Amazing. Excellent. Thank you. Can I please have a show of hands, those of you that put up your hands, who has been to Koyasan? There are only a couple. Oh, okay. I am sure that after today, there's going to be a few more people wanting to visit Koyasan. And I can recommend a really good temple stay. Okay. Now, of course, can I then have a show of hands who would like to go to Japan soon? I would hope, but that's the rest of the room, because if you haven't put up your hand, I'm wondering what you're here for. No, thank you. Look, Japan has become a very popular destination for travellers from all over the world. People are drawn to Japan for many reasons. Some for the food, some for the cherry blossoms. But you've got to be quick, because that's only a very narrow window. Others go for the skiing. I know that's what Paul would go for. Some it's for the profound spirituality and visiting the temples. Others will go to experience the Japanese aesthetics. You see this everywhere. The beautiful gardens, the beautiful temples, just the architecture, the arts, the traditional crafts. And some, I hope, you go simply for an adventure, just to experience something new, a new culture. So whatever your reason for visiting Japan, there is always something that one encounters. And the word that to describe that encounter is omotenashi. It is one of the words in my book. It refers to the spirit of selfless and wholehearted hospitality. Omotenashi is probably one of the cornerstones, the foundation of Japanese culture. And it's not just about good service. It's far more than that. It's about anticipating your guests' needs. It's about not just making them feel welcome, it's about making them feel cherished. When you experience omotenashi, it forges this lifelong memory. You will never forget it, seriously. It's a feeling that stays with you. And perhaps it would even become your natsukashi. And natsukashi is a beautiful word which simply means cherished memory. For the past, something that we long for. And as I've said before, I've had the privilege, and Carol and I have the privilege of travelling to Japan many times in the last 18 years. This is Sal and Kyo back in 2008 when we opened up our first Kyoto store, which is still there. So it was, and it's such a beautiful building. Now, upon each trip to Japan, my appreciation for the Japanese culture is just growing and growing. And it's because of this beautiful omotenashi that you experience. And it's really part of this deep, profound spirituality that is woven into the very fabric of everyday Japanese life. Now, and I hope, and my desire to create the Kotodama is because I'm so excited about this that I really wanted to share my experience of Japan with everybody. And it became my ikigai, my purpose for a while, to create the Kotodama of Scent, because I wanted to express this deep love for Japan. It's not surprising. I don't mind being emotional when I write. And I was thinking of the right word to use in the foreword. I was going to say, am I going to write like a preface and call it, a message from Sal? No, I said, the title is My Love Letter to Japan. That's how I start the book. Now, there is one word that is not in the book. And this one word that is not in the book is also deeply rooted within Japanese culture. And I need to share this with you. And that word is shokukin. Shokukin is often, and sorry for my terrible pronunciation, but shokunin. Shokunin, that's right, shokunin. I get a bit nervous when I have to pronounce these words. Shokunin. It's often translated as the artisan or the craftsman. It's a dedication to craft, a relentless pursuit for excellence and unwavering pride in one's work, a commitment to mastery. It's not just for personal gain, it's for the betterment, for those who are going to experience the result of that work. And we see this in every facet of Japanese life, from the way a chef would meticulously prepare a simple meal where every ingredient is honoured, to the breathtaking artistry of traditional crafts where some of these techniques have been refined over generations. It is my sincere hope that this dedication to craft, this commitment to excellence, a heartfelt intention even, is something that you will experience as you immerse yourself into the pages of the Kotodama of Scent and the Kokoro collection, because I hope that it truly embodies the beauty of Japanese aesthetics. Now, a little bit about the book. In a way, the book, as I said, it was my ikigai. I had my ikigai. I found my ikigai through it. But it was also a very much a Kokoro project, a project from the heart. So let me tell you a little bit about the book and the meaning of it. First of all, I've chosen, the book is, through the book, I explore Japanese culture through 28 carefully chosen words. And these words, I hope that it was so difficult to choose just 28 words. It was going to become like an encyclopedia. I had initially over 50 words and I said, no, this is not going to be possible. I don't know why I chose 28 words, but it just felt right. Was there any reason, Kyo? No. It was just a nice number. I like the number. I didn't consult with a numerologist about the 28 and the meaning of that. But I then wanted to find an essential oil, because for most of you know that my passion for the last 38 years has been aromatherapy and essential oils. And so I love working with essential oils. I think of it as a privilege to be able to work with these amazing gifts of nature, and I love finding creative ways to use them. So, and I also have come to really appreciate how much essential oils, they can have such a profound influence on our well-being, our psyche and our soul. So when I came across the word Kotodama, the word Kotodama literally means the spirit or the power of the word. It refers to the Japanese belief that the words contain some divine power. And it reminds us that these words have the power that they can impact us in so many ways, in positive ways and in negative ways, if we speak unkindly to someone. So I realized essential oils do the same thing. They can impact our psyche so profoundly. So therefore I found, this is going to be easy, because the essential oils also have this power to affect us. So the marriage between scent and words was not that as difficult as Matsuyama thought it would be initially. And the words that I chose, I wanted them to explore different facets of Japanese culture, such as accepting the impermanence of life, embracing humility and gratitude, having a deep reverence and awe for nature, the need to promote harmony within the community and within society, and also to embrace the ephemeral beauty of nature. So there was a process that I used to eliminate this list of 50 words down to 28 words. Many of the words in the book also embody virtues that can really help us on our journey of personal growth and self-discovery. And I believe that they can be the very foundation for a more flourishing life. Let me give you some simple examples before we move on. Hana fubuki, such a beautiful word. The word literally translates to, like, I think, a flower storm. Petals, and it's used to describe, and it's just the magic. It's beautiful enough to see the cherry blossoms, but when the cherry blossoms are falling, it really does feel like a flower storm, and it is so gorgeous. And that word describes it. It's such a beautiful word. But when we delve deeper, we discover that it also offers us a really profound insight into how we can navigate the ups and downs of life, how we can cultivate a greater sense of well-being by accepting the impermanence of life, but also by embracing the fleeting beauty of nature. But it also allows us to appreciate the cycles of the season. Another word, which is one of my favorite words, and Hitomi, I had the opportunity to drink from a beautiful kintsugi mug cup, a real one, not a souvenir one that you would find in the tourist shop. Hitomi-san, how old was that kintsugi cup? I had the privilege of sitting more than 100 years, and I was shaking and so nervous when I was doing the tea ceremony with her, when she told me that it had been passed on from her grandma. But it was a very, very special, auspicious occasion. So kintsugi literally refers to the art of repairing broken pottery with gold. Instead of discarding broken objects, as we do in a lot of Western culture, kintsugi is about making something that's broken even more precious. But when we make it precious, it doesn't become the old cup. It becomes something even more valuable. It transforms into something new. So kintsugi as a word teaches us about metamorphosis. That's the word that I like to use. Kintsugi is all about transformation. It's about when we experience that dark night of the soul, good can come from this. It will change, but we can change. And from that change, growth comes. So kintsugi is all about growth and renewal as well. It gives us that resilience that we need. Now, by the way, I'm going to go. It's not surprising, for example, when I was looking for the word to pair with kintsugi, I chose myrrh, because for those of you that do aromatherapy, myrrh is all about healing the body, the mind, and the soul. And in the same way, the kintsugi is all about healing, about that transformation. There is another word, and for me this word just resonated deeply when I heard of the passing of my dear friend Jonathan, setsune. The initial reaction I had from a lot of Japanese friends, oh, that's such a sad word. Why would you use that word? But I love the word setsune. It's a very complex emotion, and it's often, as are a lot of the words in the book, they're difficult to find a literal English translation. So we have to interpret the word as best as we can. So setsune is a feeling of bittersweet sadness, a longing, a heartache, a yearning for something that is lost or unattainable. But setsune is all about reminding us of the impermanence of things and the bitter-sweet nature of life. It reminds us to appreciate the fleeting nature of time, those relationships, and even our own existence. It can lead, when we embrace setsune, it can help to deepen our sense of gratitude for the presence and willingness to let go of attachments that will only cause suffering. Setsune will foster a greater compassion and empathy towards others who navigate the challenges of life, loss and change. And more importantly, setsune can help to forge stronger connections and a stronger sense of community. It's not surprising. For those of you that are into aromatherapy, I chose rock rose, otherwise known as laudanum. It has this beautiful, sweet, warm, balsamic odour, which really, it's such an evocative sense that beautifully embodies the feelings of setsune. In aromatherapy, it is often used to comfort people who are feeling lost, cold, empty. And calligraphy for the beautiful 28 words in the book. Welcome to Brisbane, and it's an honour that you could be here for the launch of Kotodama of Scent. Now, I noticed, I was present when you were, oh sorry, you should repeat that. It's okay. I was present when he was actually doing the calligraphy in his room. And one of the beautiful photos in the book is of Inge-san doing the calligraphy. It just turned out beautiful, and I was the photographer for that one. But what I wanted to make a comment on is how it was not you. It was like coming from your heart and soul. You know, the words onto the paper. Can you just tell us a little bit about how the practice of calligraphy and what it means to you personally?
Oh, really? In Japanese?
Yeah, so everybody
you need
can
Japanese
hear.
translation?
Yeah. Is that working now? Yeah, you can say.
今日はブリスベンに来させていただいてとても幸せです。ありがとうございます。書道についてですけれども、私は昔からずっと字をいつも書いています。で、文字は、たくさんの心を伝える道具ではありますけれども、どんな気持ちで書くかによって違ってきます。
So he likes to write the word all the time since he was little. This is not just writing the word.
Not what? So what do you mean by that?
なので、文字は私の心を表現します。だから誰かに伝えたい思いが文字になります。でもそのためには、書道練習をしないといけないので、書道というのは私の心を思ったことを自由に表現するために必要なものだというふうに思っています。
長いですね。The character, the character is not just a character. Character shows, or character through writing, it's, how can I say, character shows his thought. Character has his thought. So writing beautiful words is not just write beautiful. This is his thought to show to the people. Yep. So to write the beautiful character, he needs to practice. So this practice is not just for writing. This practice for him is how he can express his feeling by writing beautiful characters.
Yes. So very much, it is, Shodo is really an expression of your own, your emotions and feelings come out in this writing. Yeah. Now, I could not help but notice your office. It was beautiful. I know Hitomi-san said, you didn't tidy it up before the photograph, if you look closely. But there is, there was some beautiful prints, much bigger than this, on the wall of your office. They look big. Now, first of all, how big is that brush? It must have been so big, but I think there's a beautiful history about that art, isn't there, in your office? Could you tell us about the history of that writing?
オフィスのライティングのことですね。まずブラシ、多分すごい大きいと思うんですけど、どれぐらいのブラシで描かれたんでしょうか。
ちっちゃいのしかないです。
ないのか。
普段私が使っているブラシはこのくらいの小さいサイズ。
This is the brush that he is using every day, normally.
But 私の部屋に書いてある文字はもっともっと大きなブラシなので、これが一番小さいサイズで、中ぐらいのサイズ、大きいサイズというの中の一番大きなサイズなので、ブラシの長さが3倍ぐらいあります。
So this is the smallest brush that he's using, but that Shodo, the brush is more than 3 times big.
Wow,
Right?
okay, amazing. Yeah, amazing. And can you tell us about the artist of that work on your office?
実はお部屋の文字を書いた人の名前が、あまりに上手に書きすぎているので、私には読めなくて、誰なのかという人間はわからないんですけれども、ただあれを書かれたのはお坊さんが書かれたというのは間違いないです。
He doesn't know who wrote because on that slide doors, the lighting is too beautiful, so he can't read what is writing, so he doesn't know his name, but he knows that it's priest.
I have had the opportunity to stay at Koyasan, and especially in Jimyo-in Temple many times. It is nestled among the forest in Koyasan. It's absolutely beautiful. I've experienced incredible omotenashi there. Could you please explain to everybody what people are going to experience when they come and stay at Jimyo-in Temple or any of the temples in Koyasan?
何度もジミョンインさんに泊まらせていただいているんですけども、本当に素晴らしいおもてなしをしていただいてます。ありがとうございます。もし私たちがまたジミョンインさんに泊まらせていただいたら、宿坊に泊まらせていただいたら、どういった体験ができるのかっていうのを聞かせていただけますか。
ジミョンインでは、毎日にお勤め、すべてのものに、感謝をすることと、気づかないうちに自分たちがしてしまっているいけないことに対する懺悔をするための、お経を唱える時間があって、それはすべての人にご体験していただくことができます。
So we are doing the otsutome like every morning, like a sutra he's doing. This is more appreciation and also the how can I say that apologize what we have done. Not very good things, so they can say sorry, I will not do. Then every morning, so a cleaned mind.
他にも例えば、写経、お経を書き写すということができます。お経は私たちが唱えるものですけれども、お坊さんがだけれども皆さんもそのお経を書くということで書きながら読むことができて、たくさんの功徳をもらうことができます。
Shakyo is, do you remember we did that writing? There is a very thin paper, and there are a lot of sutra in kanji character, and we can put the thin paper on the character, and we can use the brush and just write. Do you remember what?
Yes.
You can express that.
Yeah.
Explain that. Do you remember?
It's like a practice, isn't it?
Just a practice?
Yeah. And it's a beautiful experience and opportunity to just have a go yourself at doing Shodo. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know how I discovered the word Kotodama, but when I did, I fell in love with this word. What does the word Kotodama mean to you in everyday life?
言霊ですね。日々の生活での
言霊は多分私たちが普段使う言葉は、そこにとどまらずにすぐに消えてしまいますけれども、言霊は思いを込める、願いを込める。だからその言葉に力が持たれて、そこに残るものだというふうに思うので、私たちは心を込めた言葉を使うことによって言霊というふうになると信じています。
The word we use in daily life often disappears quickly, but the kotodama leaves the essence in the heart. So we have to use the word with essence or with your heart. Kotodama means like this.
Using the word with your heart.
Yeah.
Such beautiful advice. And it's not just for Japanese words, remember, it's for all the words that we say. You know all the 28 words, which, and this is a terrible question to ask, but I have to ask, which is your favourite word? Do you have a favourite word in the Kotodama of Scent?
私の一番好きな言葉は心。心のワードが好きです。
And why is Kokoro your favourite word?
私たちお坊さんの修行の中でも最も大切なことは自分の心を知ること、本当の心っていうものが一体何であるかというのが一番大切な修行になるんです。なので私は毎日毎日自分の心、皆さんの心、仏の心、これを知るために修行しています。
The kokoro is very important things. Kokoro is the heart, meaning of the heart. And the practice, please practice. What he is doing is to know our real kokoro. Not just kokoro, like my real kokoro, somebody's real kokoro, Buddha's real kokoro. It is what he is doing every day. He is looking for the real kokoro every day. This is his study.
Yes. That's beautiful. So the kokoro really is, it's through the heart, isn't it? And it's about, once we understand finding your kokoro, you can truly lead a life in which we can flourish as individuals. Thank you so much, Inge-san. Yeah, thank you. Do you have any last words of wisdom just that you could share with everybody here today?
今日は初めてのオーストラリアに来て、でもこの、まず日本の言霊ということに興味を湧いてくださった、サルさんのこの日本人らしい心にとても嬉しいなと思いますし、私たちも自分たちが使う言葉をもう一度見つめ直して、心を込めた言葉、人のために人のために、使う優しい言葉、力強い言葉、そういう言葉を使っていきたいと思うので、今日はこの場に来れてとても嬉しいです。はい、長いですけど。
So thank you so much for inviting him to here. This is first time for him to be in Australia. And he appreciates that you are so interested in Kotodama, and your kokoro is very much Japanese. Yeah, and he is now think about more words that with heart. So he will continue to use the word with heart for others, gentle words, sometimes strong words. Not just a word. He will continue to study. Thank you so much for your...
Thank you, Inge-san. Thank you, Theo. Thank you. Now, if you would like to, in the back of the book, you will find I've interviewed all through, I wrote a series of questions, and you can find their responses to, and all three of the priests that were involved, they all beautifully answered the question. So it's a little section in the back of the book which you will really find beautiful and as inspiring as the rest of the book. Look, I do want to just spend now a few more minutes talking about the format of the book. And by the way, this is the beautiful picture of Jimyo-in. Jimyo-in. Beautiful picture is coming up very soon of where you would stay if you do stay, Jimyo-in Temple. And by the way, it has also been such an honour and a pleasure because we went up to Koyasan also to talk about creating some beautiful aromatherapy products, amenities, and just very special products. And we've made a very special balm for Jimyo-in Temple, and it just smells heavenly. We want to rename it and make it into a gorgeous perfume balm, but I won't out of respect. But it smells divine. But this is a beautiful temple. It's just a heavenly, it's just beautiful to stay there. Now I wanted to talk briefly about the format of the book, and I'm just going to do this as using one word as an example. And I think ichigo ichie is one of the words that I use. So first of all, you get to experience, I think it's not just writing on a page, it's an expression of someone's emotions through that calligraphy. So you get to feel the word through the calligraphy, through the words. You then, what I decided to do is I wanted to find a right image, a picture that embodies the feeling, the Kotodama of that word. And so ichigo ichie, the lotus blossom, for example. And I took that picture, by the way. I get excited. And that was at one of the temples in Koyasan. Because the lotus blossoms for such a short period. So it's a real, that once in a lifetime meeting that you have with this one flower. And that is what the meaning of ichigo ichie is. And so I start off by saying, okay, what is more the formal dictionary meaning of this word? And I also, and I hope this is correct, I give, if you want to have a go at pronouncing the word, I give you there an opportunity through the pronunciation to say the word. And this is where I had two sections. First of all, I decided, and this is how the book changed and evolved quite extensively. I said, what, first of all, does the word mean within Japanese culture? And even, how has the word changed? Because often the meaning, we know with our own English language, that words, often their meaning changes over time. And so I explore this in the cultural context. But then more importantly, I go, what is the universal message of this word? What can we learn from this? What does it have to offer us? How can it enrich our own lives? So that is the section of the universal message. And I don't know if I've called it an apology, but it's just an acknowledgement. It's saying the universal message really, in some ways, it's my own interpretation of the meaning, the deeper meaning that we can take. And that's through my discussions with my friends and colleagues in Japan. And then, of course, which essential oil embodies the feeling, the Kotodama of that particular word? Not surprising, for example, with ichigo ichie, which is that once-in-a-lifetime encounter, I chose a word I chose an essential oil the common name is everlasting or immortal. It will last, that once-in-a-lifetime meeting encounter last forever, everlasting. And the reason everlasting, it's not purely just for the name, but also the effect that the oil has on our psyche. And I felt, how can we help this word resonate with us? How can we incorporate it into our daily life? We can do this in many ways. We can use the essential oils in the scent, the aroma, when we do a meditation, when we are being more mindful. But through affirmations, it brings these words to life, so we can find a way of using these words in our daily life every day. So together with the affirmations, with the essential oil and exploring the meaning of the word, we can use these words to create a more positive mindset, to boost our self-esteem, and to truly flourish. Now, I'm going to speak very briefly about the 5 blends that I created, and we're going to finish the so we're going to then finish with the beautiful tea ceremony. And there's one word that's in the book that is very, very specific to the tea ceremony. But there are many reasons why I actually chose the oils that I actually did, the words that I did, and when I created the blends. For example, also as an aromatherapist, I felt I wanted to curate this collection, this beautiful collection of 5 essential oil blends. I couldn't have them all to be floral notes, for example. So if I had chosen Hana Fubuki along with Kokoro, we would have ended up with 2 floral blends in the collection, because one is ylang ylang and one is rose, the oils that embody it. So I wanted to curate it like Ikigai, for example, has more of a woody note. Kintsugi has more of a resin note. Kokoro has more of a floral note. Natsukashi, more of a citrus note. And wabi-sabi, well, wabi-sabi can be anything, because it's all about appreciating messiness. Well, it's more than that, where messiness becomes an art, where mistakes themselves, we need to appreciate them, embody them. So the best way I felt to do that was wabi-sabi predominantly has an earthy note of the scent of patchouli, the scent of vetiver, the scent of oak moss absolute, really deep oak moss smells. And then I wanted to spread out the actual the spirit of each word. One word, for example, ikigai, embodies courage and purpose. So ikigai blend is about courage and purpose. Kintsugi is more about resilience, acceptance, and transformation. Kokoro is all about compassion from the heart. Natsukashi, another gorgeous blend, the blend in the collection, Kokoro collection, is joy and happiness, while wabi-sabi is embracing the imperfections of impermanence and imperfections of nature. So that was the logic and the rationale for choosing those 5 words to create essential oil blends. But watch this space, because coming up in October, we will be creating some perfumes around some other very special words that are in the book. So I won't tell you what they are yet, okay? So that's pretty much and of course you now understand why I chose the word Kokoro to name the collection, because it's from the heart. And I think the entire creation, the book, the blends, they are from the heart. Like when you do the beautiful calligraphy, as Enge-san said, it's from the heart. It's an expression of the heart. So this is just an example of the essential oils that are in Kokoro. Rose, bergamot, everlasting. It really was so much fun creating this. And Deanne, I think you created the first lot of these. So yeah, I remember that. I've still got that. Deanne was our technical manager at the time. And this is how long it's been, and I think she's left now, about 5 years ago, or 4 years ago. So this is how long ago this project has been just sitting there on my desk, just festering away, becoming more and more exciting as we go along. Yeah, so I remember that. I've still got those originals. So Natsukashi, another beautiful word. And I hope that the images truly embody the feeling of the scent, the feeling of the word as well, revisiting those cherished memories and embracing the bittersweet beauty of nostalgia. And it's such a beautiful, comforting blend. But bergamot, it lifts the spirits. It just reminds us of this beautiful experience that we've had. Wabi-sabi. There is no direct translation for wabi-sabi, but it could mean embracing the beauty of imperfection. We see this in everyday crafts in Japan, especially with the ceramics, in paintings. We'll see like a little dribble of, the glaze. But that makes it even more special. You don't try to eradicate that. Oh, that's a mistake. No, it makes it even more precious. Now, there is one word which I think, and before I introduce this word, I would now like to invite up Hitomi-san. Here, yeah. And because this beautiful word, wake seijaku, yeah. Oh, where is our mic? Wake seijaku, it has a very special meaning within the tea ceremony. Could you please explain why wake seijaku is so important for the tea ceremony? Oh, come in closer.
大事なこととして、教えられる和敬静寂の意味ですが、和は、和敬静寂の和は、心を開いて、お稽古のお仲間や他の方と仲良くする、はい、という意味です。
So, to study the tea ceremony, teacher always teach about the wake seijaku. She will talk about each wake seijaku now. Can she start? The wa is the harmony. Wa means to open our heart and also get along with one others.
敬は尊敬の敬です。お互いに敬うことが大事と言われています。
K means respect, and K means to respect each other.
誠は清らかな、清いことですね。ただそれだけではなく、心の中も清らかにしておくこと。はい、心の。
Sei is purity. Purity means not only physical cleanliness, but also purity of the heart.
寂は何事にも動じないという意味です。
Jaku is like tranquility. Jaku means having a calm and unshakable mind, no matter what happened.
Wow. That's beautiful. You can hear me, yeah. While the word is specifically crafted for the tea ceremony, because this is what I was interested in exploring, the idea of the word, how can people use wake seijaku in their daily life?
It's a difficult question. He gave us the question, but he always changed the question. So.
Oops. Oh, I thought that was one of the questions. No.
日々生活をしている中で何においても当てはまる大事な言葉だと思っています。
So in the daily life, there are so many things happen. So Wake Seijak is like everywhere in our life.
Yes, exactly. See, of course she knew
Right,
the answer.
right answer.
Of course.
We are relieved.
It's all about in every encounter that we have with everybody. It's about harmony. It's about respect, purity, meaning it's from the heart, and tranquility. There's no room for anger and aggression in those connections that we make in everyday life. So it really is the foundation of all interactions within Japanese society, and something that we can all, as foreigners, or people not from Japanese culture, we can all learn so much from this beautiful word. Now, it is going to be such an honor now for Hitomi-san to explain how Wake Sajaku is actually interpreted and used within the tea ceremony. Thank you, Hitomi-san. Yes. Now, we also have Inge-san and Hitomi-san's beautiful children who are amazingly dressed. They're going to be helping Mum to do the tea ceremony today. Now, will we invite the special guests now to participate? Yeah, yeah.
There will be 4, 2 and 2.
2 and 2, yeah. Yeah. The first 2 will be, the first 2, yeah. So I would also like, look, we thought there's no way that Hitomi-san can do the tea ceremony for all 120 of us here present today. So I've kind of just had to narrow it down to four guests. We're going to do 2 lots, but she will be also explaining the process. So I would like to invite to the stage Mrs. Ishikawa-san and Kawabata-san to the first sitting of the tea ceremony. Thank you.
So Hitomi-san, it will be difficult for her to explain everything when she's doing. So I learned from her. So I will translate what she's doing for the first time. So second time, I will not say anything. Just please enjoy the real tea ceremony in quiet.
Georgie's wife, they can swap positions. Sorry, the 2 ladies are there, can they swap positions? Change seats.
Which one?
Yeah. She asked if they can just change their positions and swap them.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Would you mind?
It's the 2 ladies sitting down?
Yes.
Okay. They need to swap?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Like you want to... Kyo, can they swap? Swap. Oh, sorry. Yeah, swap. Sorry. Sorry about that. What's wrong?
I think she'll be on the other side. Oh no, just swap the others.
Seat. Oh, I had a seat. Lucy was here. No way. I had seats right up the front for you guys.
That's not you're preaching.
So normally, the Hitomi-san will demonstrate how to prepare the usucha, which means thin tea. She begins by bowing to greet the guest. This is a gesture of respect and appreciation. Yeah, here, like this. Can you hear? Sorry. Now Hitomi-san's kids is bringing sweets. In the tea ceremony, sweets are served to make the tea taste even better. The sweets are also nice to look at. Their colors and the shapes often show things like flowers, rivers, snow, or autumn leaves, depend on the season. So why do we eat sweets before drinking tea? In Japanese tea ceremony, it is common to eat sweets before having green tea. This is to enjoy the balance between the sweetness of sweets and also bitterness of tea. It also helps to soften the effect of the tea because since matcha has caffeine, having something sweet fast is easier on our stomach. Like this. Okay. Next, she carefully purifies the tea utensil using a silk cloth called fukusa. This includes a tea scoop, chashaku, and the tea container, natsume. These movements are very slow and mindful, reflecting the spirit of harmony and respect in the tea ceremony. Normally she's using the lighter bamboo things, but it is very heavy. She said it's difficult for her to do it. Now she's rinsing the bamboo whisk called chasen. And warms the tea bowl with hot water. After warming the bowl, it is gently dried. Now, she adds matcha powder into the bowl. For usucha, usucha means thin tea. Tea scoop are usually enough. Now she adds hot water. Then she whisks the tea with the chasen in a quick, light motion to create smooth and a slightly frothy surface. Once the tea is ready, Hasan Takamitsu placed the bowl in front of the guest. The guest goes to thank her. Then picks up the bowl with both hands. Before drinking, the guest turned the bowl slightly. This meaning like respect and appreciation for who made. Now you can drink the tea in the few quiet sips. Sometimes it's hot, so you can enjoy it. Hey. あ、そうなんだ。あ、本当だ。あ、すごい。You can see how can I show this? You can see, you can look at the later, but this chasen is very special for today. She asked to have two color, green and yellow, for the Australia, so she made it. Hi. Now she's making the second one. Now whisks the tea in the quick. So every moment you see has a meaning. The tea ceremony is not just about the making tea and the drinking tea, but about creating the moment of peace and connection. There are two types of tea ceremony. Today she's making usucha, means thin tea, means more for casual, so they can talk while they're doing tea ceremony. But there another one like a koicha. Koicha or like a heavy taste one. That is in quiet. We shouldn't talk during the time. So this is casual version. Yeah. ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。
Could I please ask Jen Hamilton and Natalie Troy up, please? Now, while we're getting ready, I just want to tell a funny little story. This is a funny story. Carolyn was taking photographs. We were at the temple, and this is for the photographs for the book. Hitomi-san is in one of the images is in the book. And she was very serious, going through the whole formality, and next minute, Kia was with us, and she starts giggling. And we go, is this part of the ceremony? And then she says to Kia, oops, I just made a mistake. But we're Westerners, they won't know anyway. Remember? Thank you. I had to share that funny story.
We will bring the sweets.
Okay, yes. So we explained what the sweets were for, didn't we?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And, I don't need to explain again.
Yeah, you don't have to explain again, do we? No.
Maybe.
Yeah, just again, maybe. Yeah.
Just explain to them.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So after this, it will be the end of the formal presentations. We'll all adjourn downstairs where we can have some drinks. You can pick up the books, those of you that are prepaid, and we'll catch up, have some photos and so on. Yes. And, oh yes.
Yeah, you have to.
This is just something that I had to do and have. Because I wanted something very Japanese. And there is this little shop in the Kyoto station that sells matcha cookies. They are the best cookies in the world. And so Kyo travelled from Japan with 120 of these really yummy cookies.
I was so scared at the custom.
So you can only have one cookie each, please.
Sorry. She just asked, is it the first time for you to? And they are, it is the first time for them. Hi. Please have sweet first. You can see the beautiful. Yeah. You can start.
She can stay around you in temple for a while. Introduce you to the priest. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks.
It's delicious.
Everybody.
Is it hot? Perfect. So why she turned the cup? Because normally ceramic has the face, beautiful face, like a front face. So when he give the cup to the customer, the face to the customer. But to make the tea, face is for herself, but then to the customer, face to you means twice. Then when you drink, that you will show the face to her again, means back twice. So this is why they are doing. But at this time, this cup doesn't have the face, so you can drink from anywhere. Yeah. Is it bitter? It's nice. あ、そうよね。あ、そうですよね。In Japan, we used to, in the past, used to drink the green tea as a medicine. The people thinking this is good for the health, and it is good for the health. So it was medicine for Japanese people in the past. Yeah. There is a teacher. He's like a head priest of the family. And he's now 102 years old. Continue to drink the tea every day. Wow. He's healthy. So you will be much more healthy. Yeah. And if you can't finish to eat, you can just wrap with the paper, and then you can bring this back. Now he will start to clean up, to finish the ceremony. There is still ceremony to finish. Can you leave? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, can we please, not just Hitomi, but Yuri and Mitz, thank you so much for the amazing assistance. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this beautiful journey to explore something unique that I've come to really appreciate, and that is every encounter that I have in Japan. I hope you will feel that when you turn every page of the Kotodama of Scent. Thank you so much for coming today, and please, we've got lots of time to spend downstairs to talk, take some photos. Inge-san has also got his brush with him, and not ink, he uses the charcoal, and I think we'll be doing some calligraphy as well. We do have, I think Janet will explain, some lucky door prizes.
Yes,
Janet.
we've got the lovely posters around the calligraphy around the room.
We've got some
a
extra.
slightly smaller version, only a little bit. Oh, sorry, only a little bit. But for those of you who make a purchase today, so when you go down the stairs, you'll go into our warehouse. So many of us, we can't fit in the front shop, but we've set a pop-up shop. Anyone who makes a purchase, make sure you get a lucky draw ticket to win one of the beautiful posters we've got for you.
Thank you.
And thank you all for coming. It's wonderful to see so many people here again.
So we've got some nibblies so that you won't go too hungry because it's almost lunchtime. Yeah,
and some light refreshments.
And light refreshments as well. So thank you all so much. Can we turn the lights on?
Can we have the light on? Who's down? May we have a light switch